Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the 5th place deck profile from Sovereign's Non-Meta Tournament number 4. Go ahead and say your name and say what you played.
My name is Luca Keller. I go by Mikhailio in the non-meta tournament Discord server. I was playing pure Endymion.
Yeah, so it's a pretty much just a pure list, as you said, and it's more focused around like the spell counters, it looks like. So we'll go through the list and we'll explain like your card choices and stuff like that. So it looks like you're on 3 Endymion. I mean, it makes sense. This is probably like the big boss monster of the deck, so I mean, it just makes sense why you're on
Yeah,
3.
I mean, yeah. It has a lot of how can I say this? It's very versatile.
Yeah.
It's good going second. Obviously, a good boss monster.
Right, because it can
So yeah,
pop cards too. And going first, it's
yeah,
also really
yeah,
good just being able to set up the negate. So, first and
yeah.
second, this card is really nice. And then you have Reflection. So, this one is the one that specials from hand. How was this one? This one seems just kind of like okay, but how was it for you?
Well, I mean, it's fine if I draw it. It's kind of just helping with bad hands.
Right, yeah, because you
Right.
can just put the link
Yeah,
monsters on the field. Or like link off into like a Crowley or any other
yeah,
link
yeah.
too,
It's
pretty much.
it's
Yeah.
also an interruption by
Hmm.
bouncing opponent's cards.
Yeah. So it's like it seems like okay. It seems like the one copy is probably fine. I guess maybe would you consider putting this at 2 at all? Or
I don't know. I don't think I would.
yeah, because
It's
definitely
it's a
it's
break.
yeah it's still searchable with like mastery, so it's like fine.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Magister is the one that specials from the extra deck. So how was this one?
I chose this one because it's a high scale and it
Hmm.
could be useful because of his monster effect, which can summon from deck by
Oh,
removing 3 counters.
okay. Yeah, I completely forgot that was even a thing. So that's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then Abductor, this is obviously just like a free search because like you're running
yeah,
through
yeah,
spells the entire time, so this is just like an instant 3 of.
yeah. Generic searcher basically.
Yeah. Jackal King, just like putting extra monster negates on the field is really nice, especially in a format where Appaloosa doesn't exist. So like you have to have some sort
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
monster negation, especially because Pendulum loves to put up negates. But
yeah,
then Cerberus, just a search for either the Jackal King or the Garuda, which is another
yeah.
one. Was there any reason why you only opted to play 2 of this? I know typically when people play the Mythical Beast engine, they typically play 3 Cerberus, but was there any reason why you decided just to play the 2 copies?
Well, actually, I usually play one
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like it can be bricky at times.
Yeah.
So I guess two was like a middle ground for
Yeah.
me.
That makes sense just because like it's an 8-star, so you can't really pendulum summon it. So as soon as like you use
Yeah,
it, it's kind of stuck in your extra deck. So there's not really a good way to get it out after that. So that makes sense.
yeah,
Garuda, this is more of like I believe it's spell and trap removal. So I guess that's like pretty good that it's searchable off of Cerberus. Was there any
yeah.
other
It's
reason why
it's
you played this?
well, no, it's basically just an interruption that I
Okay.
can search.
Yeah, that makes sense. Then 3 Chronograph and the Time Gazer. This is just a non-normal summon way to get Time Gazer on the field and put
Yeah,
spell
I mean,
counters and
a
stuff.
free monster.
Yeah, and then you
It's a
can
free
pendulum really
monster.
quickly. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it looks like you're on 1 copy of Souls. So was there any reason why you opted to play just the one?
Um, well, I actually made this decision. I made it last second.
Hmm.
I didn't want to play 3 souls because I'm not really used to playing souls.
Yeah.
So I just put in the one if it comes in handy. Like if I see it in my hand, great. If not, doesn't really affect my combo.
Okay. So you just weren't really building your deck around it. That makes sense.
Yeah,
So I feel like you possibly like Jester Confit. It seems like it would accomplish like the same thing. They both like put a body on the field, and Souls also
yeah.
helps you draw cards. Was there any reason why you opted to play Jester Confit as a 1 of copy as well instead of playing like maybe 2 Jester Confit or 2 Souls, or did you just want to try each of them? Or
Yeah, I wanted to try and see
okay.
how it feels.
After the tournament, what do you think? Do you think that maybe like Jester Confit goes or can like get removed from the list and you put Souls to 3 or 2 or 3, or what do you think about
I
that?
would probably consider putting souls to 3
Hmm.
because it's a good card.
Yeah, I mean, you can at least link off into Link Kribo after it, and so
Right,
I mean
right.
that gives you like an arrow to like special from, as well as like interruption, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the one copy of Prophecy, I think you only really need one since it's a searchable with Crowley, so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
It's yeah, makes sense.
Then the 3 spell power mastery, just because it searches for everything. Well, all of your Endymion stuff at least, which is like the
Yeah,
main
and
core of the
it puts
deck.
counters. Yeah, it puts counters on the field. It's great.
Yeah, and then the field spell is also really fantastic, just because like especially combined with like abductor, you can also get like extra searches.
Right.
Just spell counters though. It's the whole deck makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Terraforming to get to it as well. So this is also a really interesting choice. So you opted to play 3 copies of Toon Table of Contents as well as a copy of Toon World. So was there?
Um.
Sorry.
No, no. You ask your question.
So this just seems like a really odd choice. I mean, obviously it's there to just put the spell counters there, but is there anything you'd switch this for in hindsight? Like maybe like power spells or something like Triple Tactics Talent or like Mind Control, or even switching like Call by the Graves to main. Or what did you think about this card?
I thought it was a cool tech choice
Yeah, it definitely was.
because because of the ability for it to put counters on the field,
hmm
but I don't know. I guess I would switch it out maybe because if I draw two table of contents or one table of contents and Toon World, it's kind of a break. One
Yeah.
of them is unusable. But yeah, I would switch it up maybe for like an Allure of Darkness or something.
Okay. Well, yeah, Allure actually would seem pretty good in this. That's just because everything is
Yeah,
dark, especially if you put in
yeah,
like the souls in like a higher quantity.
yeah, yeah. Of course.
Like you have way like a lot of dark targets, so Allure would be pretty good
Right, right.
actually. And then Spellbook of Secrets and the Knowledge, just because you can search this with the Crowley. Does
Yeah,
Crowley search for different names? Yes, it does. Okay. So is there
yeah,
any? Is there a fourth one or just the 3 targets? It looks like just the Knowledge, the Secrets, and the Blue
yeah,
Boy.
yeah.
Okay. So I mean that makes sense. Just Secrets is probably the best one. Just being able to search for either. So.
Yeah.
And then Pot of Desires, just because it's limited, so you might as well play one.
Yeah.
Upstart Goblin, just to 39 cards, also get your spell counters, and Mythical Institution. So how was this card as well? I've heard this card like is really good with the Mythical Beast engine, but a lot of people just don't really like play it, I guess.
Um, it's cool if you have mythical institution and I don't know, let's say Cerberus in hand.
hmm
You can play the institution, and institution gets 2 counters every time a mythical beast on the field is destroyed.
Yeah,
So
and they destroy
and the
themselves.
mythical, yeah, yeah, they destroy themselves. Also, you could search by removing counters equal to the level of the monster you want to search from it, which is also pretty cool.
hmm Yeah,
So
so
yeah, I
just
mean
free
it's a
searches.
searcher.
Yeah, as well as like spell counters on the field. So I mean,
Yeah,
since
yeah.
it is a spell card, so that's pretty good. Then moving on into the extra deck, so it seems like a pretty loose extra deck, so you can like play a lot of options. You played
Yeah.
2 Celines, 2 Crowley. Was there any reason? Did like the second one of these ever come up, or did you want something else in your extra deck?
Um, I don't know. I mean, it's good to have 2 Selene because obviously you make one, and then if you use up her spell counters, you can just make another one. So
hmm
I guess that's okay.
Yeah, and her arrows are like fantastic. And
Yeah.
then Daybreaker is also in here as well. I mean, this makes sense. It's just like 2 spellcasters.
Yeah.
Same thing as like Crowley, pretty much. A beat cop. So, is there any reason why this is in here? Over
I
like
thought I thought it would be useful, but I never ended up using it.
yeah, it seems like whenever you
Um,
want to make a link to, you would typically just go into either Crowley or Daybreaker, since everything in your
yeah,
deck is
yeah.
spellcaster anyway. So, okay, so probably cut like one of these for like a second Daybreaker or for
Right, right.
anything
Yeah.
else. Yeah. Okay. Then 2 copies of Absolute Dragon. So this is really interesting to me because you're just on one vortex. So did you initially have a second like target in the extra deck, or a second odd eyes to summon? Is what I mean. Or
Um, I actually don't know why I play two. One would be enough. I mean, it could free up a space
Yeah.
in the extra deck. So yeah, I guess I could play one.
Yeah. What would you change this out for? Was there anything you missed?
I missed out on Nightmare Unicorn,
Oh
which could
yeah.
have been
Oh
which could
yeah.
have been a
Essentially.
great, yeah, it could have been a great addition. But I kind of made this list in a hurry,
Mhm.
so yeah, I didn't really think it through.
That's unfortunate. Then one Vortex, one Naruto, because you can summon this with double Jackal King. I guess if you
Yeah,
don't have counters, so that's kind of cool. And then you have the just Skull Dread, which is limited, and then the Link Kuribo, Phoenix. I actually didn't see this earlier, but this is the third
yeah,
Celine,
another Celine.
and IP. So that's it for the extra deck, and obviously I think we've already went through the changes possibly. So like cutting like Absolute Dragon for the Unicorn, and is there
Yeah,
anything
and
else? Oh, the Beat Cop.
like you said, yeah, like you said, the beat cop and the in the main deck, I would just cut the tune engine for like an allure or something,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe triple tactics talent.
Okay. Then
But
going
the rest
on,
is kind of fine.
yeah. All right, so going on into the side decks, so we have 3 copies of Valor and the one Impermanence. Looks like these are the only hand traps you're on. I mean, it looks like it has pretty good synergy with the deck just because Valor is a spellcaster, so worst case scenario, you can probably just normal summon this.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's pretty good. Super Poly, so what was your target for
Um,
this?
I actually
Just
don't
the
know.
Vortex, maybe?
I think um, I guess it could be Vortex, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just putting in random cards at that
Okay.
point.
So I guess you could probably fit in probably a Super Poly target over the Beat Cop possibly.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
could fit that in. Looks like yeah, you were definitely in a hurry. Just you forgot your Super Poly target. What were you initially thinking with this? Maybe like Starving Venom?
Well, yeah. I think Starving Venom could be, or maybe like Mud Dragon, but
Okay, just like generic stuff. Okay,
generic, yeah.
Winged Dragon of Ross Mode. It looks like this is just kind of like a one-off thing. Just because maybe you're just
Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know if I should put three because I didn't know. Again, this is my first non-meta tournament, so I didn't know what to expect. So I put one, and hey, if I see it, great. If not, sucks.
Yeah. In hindsight, was this like an okay option, or what did you think?
Well, I don't know. I think it's okay
Okay.
based on the opponent. I guess.
Right. And then we have 2 copies of Dark Ruler No More. I mean, this is pretty. I mean, there's not really much to explain about that. Twin
Yeah.
Twisters, same
Okay.
thing there. And then Call by the Grave. Fortunately, this is limited, so we'll have to switch this out for something else. And then it looks like you have your third mythical institution. So, was there anything in the side deck that you possibly missed out on that you wish you had?
Well, I could have maybe. I mean, I was thinking about that. I could have put like Gamma in,
Okay.
or maybe a Ghost Ogre
Yeah, just more hand
instead of
traps.
yeah, instead of like the Super Poly and I don't know, maybe the Mythical Institution.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I mean you did pretty well. I mean all things considered, missing a couple cards
Yeah.
in your deck, a couple things on the side deck that probably were a little off. But I mean you still got fifth
Yeah.
place, so it shows that like you did pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, well thank you for the deck profile. I appreciate it, and
No problem.
hope to see you in the next tournament.